Hello, hello. This is an SEO audit for Sean Henriksen Law Firm. They are a criminal defense attorney in San Antonio, Texas. This is their Google business profile, and this is their website. First thing we always do is run a local map ranking scan to see how often their law firm shows up in Google search. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new scan. Type in their law firm. Select the one in San Antonio, go down to the radius, set that to 2 miles. Then I'm going to head over to the keyword section, and I'm going to be using these keywords: criminal defense attorney near me, DUI lawyer near me, and domestic violence lawyer near me. And then I'm going to select a one-time scan and then hit save. So while this is running, I'm also going to run a scan to see how many times their business name, address, and phone number show up in Google search. So I'm going to head over here, type in their business name, go down here, exclude their domain, and then scroll down a little bit farther and select 10 pages and then hit run. So the data that we get back from this, we're going to be using in the next section after we go over how they rank in Google Maps. All right. Looks like the map is finished loading. Couple of things I want to outline first. One of the main factors that determine how high your business ranks in Google Maps is where your law firm is physically located. So if you remember, we ran a 2-mile scan, which means the center of the business is right here. And the scan goes 2 miles north, 2 miles south, 2 miles to the east, and 2 miles to the west. So the rankings are typically better the closer you are to the business, and when you zoom out, they get worse and worse and worse. So that's pretty much the situation here. They have one pin right where their business is located at position 10, and then they start to drop off outside of that. And then once they start getting out further and further, they don't show up in the top 20 results at all. Let's take a look at where they rank for domestic violence. So this one's at least they have a little bit more coverage compared to the criminal defense attorney keyword. Still, they're ranking position 12 right where their business is located. And then the rest of the scan is just completely red or grayed out. So that's not good at all. And then let's take a look at their last keyword, which is DUI. So basically same story for this keyword. So Google doesn't really associate their business profile with any of these keywords at all. And in order to get the most out of your Google business profile, you want your law firm to rank in the top 3 results across your entire area. So once your rankings kind of look something like this, then anybody looking for a criminal defense attorney in your area will call your business first. So let's go back to the scan. Another thing I like to take a look at is the demographics. So once I turn this on, with this tool, I can see the population density, I can see the median income, I can see the percentage of homeowners, as well as the median age for each of these little sections within their service area. And by the way, all of this data is taken directly from the Census Bureau. So if this law firm wants more DUI cases, they probably want to allocate more of their marketing resources towards the areas with the highest population density. So that would be around the west side, south side, and a little bit towards the north. So this area kind of in the middle or in the top right-hand corner is a little bit less densely populated than these areas. So that's an area that they would want to prioritize less. They would also want to target the median age of under 25 to 35 years old. So you can take a look at this chart below and then see which colors coordinate with each age bracket. If this law firm wants to target more high ticket cases, so for example, embezzlement, wire fraud, healthcare fraud, or any white collar crime, then they could budget more of their marketing towards certain areas based on higher median income. So in this situation, it would be around Alamo Heights, because that looks to be one of the only areas within a 5-mile radius of their business that has a median income of around 100,000 or more. They could also target based on percentage of homeowners, because homeownership and median income could be closely correlated. And if this law firm specializes in domestic violence cases, which they do, then they would probably want to target the ages of 26 to 45. So anything in yellow and orange. Overall, this is a super useful tool. If you run a law firm that spends any amount of money in marketing, you need to make sure that you're targeting the right people, and this is perfect for that. By the way, if you want us to run this report as well as the next report for your law firm, first link in the description, fill out your business information, and we will make sure to help you out with that. But for the next section, we are going to go over some keyword and domain metrics. All right, so this is what we use to generate the keyword and domain metrics report. All I need to do is enter their business information, hit search, find the one in San Antonio, and then it'll auto-populate the rest of this data. And all I need to do for the citation data section is upload the results from the scan that I ran earlier, which did a search for their business name, address, and phone number. So once I do that, I'm going to uncheck the schema button and then hit generate report. And once it's done, I'm going to open it up. So this is what the report looks like. This report tracks 150 search terms that are all related to criminal defense in San Antonio, and combined they get around 12,800 searches per month, and the average cost per click for these terms is $96. If this website was in position 1 in Google search for all of these terms, they would get about 17.6% of all the clicks, which is about 2,200 clicks per month, and that traffic is worth about $216,000 per month in Google ad spend. So let's take a look at section 1, which is keyword data. So the table on the screen is currently sorted by highest traffic value, and that's calculated by taking the search volume, so monthly searches, times the cost per click, and that's multiplied by the click-through rate of position 1, which is 17.6%. So the highest value terms are criminal defense lawyer San Antonio, criminal defense attorney San Antonio, and criminal attorney San Antonio. They all have 1,300 searches per month. You can also filter by near me as well as the name of the city, so San Antonio. Near me searches are usually a lot higher intent because those searches typically come from people who are on their phones and they're looking to contact a law firm right away. And then if you want to see the data presented in a more visual format, you can scroll down to section 2. So the first chart in section 2 shows the monthly search volume for each keyword. So the top keywords are criminal defense lawyer San Antonio, criminal defense attorney San Antonio, and criminal attorney San Antonio. So all of those have 1,300 searches per month. The second chart shows how the traffic value changes across websites ranking in position 1 through position 10. So position 1 is worth about $216,000 in Google ad spend. Position 2 is worth about $190,000. Position 3 is worth about $185,000. And once you get to position 4, the traffic value drops from $186,000 down to $86,000, which is more than a 50% decrease. And the reason that happens is because if somebody searches for criminal defense lawyer San Antonio, or criminal defense attorney San Antonio, or criminal attorney San Antonio, Google only shows 3 businesses in the map results. And in order to even see the 4th business, the person searching needs to click on another button that says show more businesses, and that adds an additional layer of friction, which means a lot of the time, the only way people reach the 4th business is if the first 3 don't answer their phones. And hoping that your competitors don't answer their phones is not a good business strategy, which is why the goal of local SEO is to rank your law firm in the top 3 spots of Google for the most competitive keywords, so that you can capture over 50% more traffic than if you were ranking in position 4. So from here, let's take a look at their citation profile. So citations are any mention on the internet of a business's name, address, or phone number. Some common examples include an Instagram profile, Facebook page, Yelp listing, etc. So for this business, we found 30 citations across 9 unique websites. About 30% of them come from legal directories, about 10% of them come from general business directories, and the remaining 60% of them are unclassified. And if you scroll down to the second half of the report, you'll see that out of 186 citation sources that we recommend for law firms, this business is only listed on 3 of them, which means there are 183 opportunities to mention their business across different websites. I would recommend at least getting listed on the highest authority sources, which include Facebook page, Instagram page, YouTube, LinkedIn, Google sites, basically anything that has a domain rating of above 90, mainly because these websites have been around for decades. They have hundreds of millions of businesses already listed on them. They have billions of users, as you can see from the organic traffic. And all of this means that Google trusts these websites. It also means that large language models trust these websites. So getting your law firm listed on as many of these citations as you possibly can will increase how often your business shows up in both local search, as well as increase how often your brand gets mentioned in the AI search results. So from here, let's move on to their backlink profile. So backlinks are links from other websites that point to this law firm's website. So we found 92 backlinks. They come from 68 unique referring domains. 70% of the links are do follow, meaning they actually pass authority to the website, which is a good thing. The most important factor to tell if a backlink is good or not for a local business website is relevance. So the best type of backlink for this business will be on websites that talk about drug possession, DUI, domestic violence, tax fraud, anything that's related to criminal law. This could also mean getting a link from your local chamber of commerce, your local BNI, any local blogs or news publications. Even a backlink from another local business is going to be useful for these guys. Bottom line is backlinks from websites that are either relevant to the topic of criminal law or relevant to the geographic location, which is San Antonio, are the types of links that are going to move the needle the most when it comes to ranking a local business like this in Google search. So this report also has quality filters that are built into the backlink table at the bottom over here. So you can narrow this list down to only the legit backlinks. Out of 92 backlinks that are shown here, only 68 are on unique referring domains. 12 are hosted on subdomains instead of the root domain, which means the link isn't actually on the main website. 32 links come from TLDs, so domain extensions that are not .com, .net, .org, .edu, or .gov. 28 of those backlinks are nofollow, so they don't pass authority. And 33 of them have a spam score of 50 or higher. So turning on these filters will give you a much clearer picture of the legit high quality links that are pointing to the site. And then under this section, we can see the list of the individual backlinks that they have, which pass all of these filters up here. So it looks like they only have 14 of them. So this one looks to be a directory. This one is a podcast. This one is a review site. This is a podcast. This is a podcast. This is a directory. This is also a directory. This is the Texas Bar. This is also a directory. Yeah, so it looks like they don't really have any legit backlink except this one. This one might be the only legit backlink out of their entire backlink profile. So overall, a lot of room for improvements. But to recap this section, there are about 12,850 monthly searches related to criminal defense in San Antonio, and that traffic is worth about $216,000 in Google ad spend. In order to rank a little bit higher for their keywords in Google search, I would recommend them building out as many of these missing citations as they can, as well as getting backlinks from sources that are topically or geographically relevant to their business. So that means links from websites that are related to criminal law, as well as links that are relevant to San Antonio, which is where their business is located. So the last thing I'm going to do is just go to their Google business profile, click on their website, and see if there's any room for improvement there. So this is their website. The first thing I'm going to check is their SEO title. Okay, so their SEO title has a lot of room for improvements. Instead of this, I would just make it Sean Henriksen Law Firm, which is the name of your business, and then I would put a dash, so this right here, and then I would put your Google business profile, which is criminal justice attorney. So you can either do criminal justice attorney or you can do criminal defense attorney. Either one works. So Sean Henriksen Law Firm, dash, criminal defense attorney, and then dash your location, which is San Antonio, Texas. So that's how I would structure your SEO title. And then I would put a meta description. Ideally, you would just want that to be filled out. And then let's take a look at your headings. So you have two H1s, which is not the best. I would get rid of one of them. It looks like you're targeting family violence, so domestic violence cases. So in that situation, I would just make one H1 and I would make it best domestic violence attorney in San Antonio, Texas, or something along those lines. That's probably what I would use for that. And then it looks like your subheadings are all messed up as well. You have an H3 for our social. You have an H4 service. You have an H4 for services, and then you have an H3 for services. You do have your individual service pages nested underneath your services, so that's good. Let me see if they are interlinks. So they do interlink. If I click into it, all right, it does take a little long to load. Not the worst thing in the world, but your content is really thin. So there's not really a lot of content that's going on this page. Let me take a look at your other pages. Okay, so it looks like all of your pages are just really thin content. It's definitely worth writing a little bit more just to beef up the page, especially since you're in such a competitive location. And then it looks like you do have a video and a podcast. So this is really good. I like how you have all your YouTube videos laid out over here. I like how you have a lead magnet on each one of your pages. Let's take a look at your podcast. Okay, so these are nice little 10-minute videos on topics about criminal law. So it looks like you're pretty covered on the social media front. The only caveat to that is social media isn't really the channel that brings the highest intent leads. And what I mean by that is if somebody gets arrested, they're not going to go scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or even YouTube. Maybe YouTube, but it's very unlikely that they're going to go on YouTube and search up arrested in San Antonio, need a lawyer or something like that. But they would search for something like that on Google. And like we saw before, your Google business profile is not ranking the best for any of those keywords. And one of the main reasons for that is because your website isn't as optimized as your competitors. You are missing a lot of important things such as your SEO title, your meta description. You have two H1s. You don't really have any content on your practice area pages. You don't have any specific location pages or neighborhood pages that could help you compete in such a competitive city like San Antonio. I also don't think you have a map embed on your home page. Let me see. Okay, so it looks like you don't have a map embed on your homepage. What a map embed is just take this, hit the share link, embed a map, and then just copy this HTML. So you'll have this Google Business Profile listing on your website. And you have a decent amount of reviews. You have 179 reviews. Another thing we can take a look at is your competitors. So for the keyword criminal defense attorney near me, your competitors have about 400, 145. So this guy has 66 reviews. This guy has 16 reviews. This guy has 20 reviews, 87, 82, 31, and they're all ranking above you. Let's take a look at something that's more, let's take a look at right where your business is located. So for here, you rank at position 10 with 179 reviews. You're getting outranked by this business with 38 reviews, 145 reviews, and then 46 reviews up here in position 5. And then 81 reviews over here in position 3, and then 66 reviews in position 2. So you have more than enough reviews to compete at the top, but you just aren't because your website is not optimized and your let me take a look. And your citations, which is what we took a look at over here, you don't have, or you barely have any of these built out. So who actually runs your marketing? Oh, okay. Well, it looks like their website doesn't work either. That's unfortunate. So I don't know if you'll be able to contact them to maybe make some changes on your website just to improve the things that I mentioned and get you listed on the citations that I mentioned. But if you're able to get all that done, you'll be able to pick up some more rankings in your local area, even if it's just for, like a 1 to 2 mile radius around where your business is located. Since this area is, like we saw before, it's very densely populated. If you rank for something like, DUI lawyer, you'll be able to pick up a lot of these cases. And it looks like you also rank for, it looks like you're also targeting domestic violence cases. So if you ranked in the top 3 results for this, you would be getting a lot more calls from Google, which are by far the highest intent leads compared to something like Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. So that's pretty much the audit for Sean Henriksen Law Firm. If you enjoyed this video and you want something similar done for your law firm, hit the first link in the description, fill out your business information, and we will get back to you with your audit. Other than that, hope this video was helpful and have a great rest of your week. Cheers.